Welcome to the EQ Fit podcast. Our mission is to equip people to prosper in every aspect of their life. Whether you're at home or in the workplace, we explore practical ways of improving success, satisfaction, finding balance, and building enjoyable and beneficial relationships. Thank you for joining us. You're walking down the hallway and you see somebody you know. You say hello to them and you ask them, "How are you doing?" And they respond, "Fine." Now, I know personally, when I ask certain people in my life how they're doing or if they're okay and they say fine, that's usually not what they mean. But back to this situation. Now, you sense that they may not be entirely truthful with you about being fine, but you let it go. Why do we do that? Why do we say things like we're fine when we're not? Well, maybe it's because we want to be seen as being in control, being strong, being focused, being ready, being willing, being able. And maybe we are, but probably not all of the time. I want to talk about assessments today for a very specific purpose, and that's getting behind the mask. What is the mask? It's the face that we put on that we want others to see. And whether you're looking at yourself in a mirror, seeing your own face, but not really able to see everything inside of you, or whether you're looking at somebody else. Maybe it's a candidate you're thinking about hiring. Maybe it's somebody you work with that you're going to try and coach them or you lead and develop them. Bottom line, if we're going to do a good job at any of those things, we have to get behind the mask. Why is it important to see deeper? The more we understand either ourselves or this other person and their current reality, what's truly going on for them right now, the better we can decide what to do. How can we best help them? Is this someone we would like to hire for our team? Is this someone you want to build a friendship with? This has impact in every part of our lives. Now, I'm looking at a graphic that I know you can't see, but I'm going to describe it. This graphic speaks to every one of us. And there's 4 boxes. Upper left corner, upper left box is the arena. The arena is what we know about ourselves and other people know about us. Okay, so it's shared knowledge about ourselves. We know it, other people know it. Now, the top right box is blind spot. Blind spots are what others may see, but we don't really see about ourselves. Bottom left box is the facade. The facade is what we know about ourselves, but hide from other people. So think of a mask. We put on a mask. We don't show other people our facade, what's behind our facade. And then the last box, bottom right, is untapped potential. And we would love to get there, to that untapped potential, but it's being blocked by blind spots and by the facade that we present to other people. So when I talk about getting behind the mask, what I'm talking about is, whether it's for ourselves or for others, it's more transparency, it's more disclosure related to blind spots and the facade that we put up. It's not easy to be transparent, and I understand that. It's not comfortable sometimes to be transparent, but the more transparency that we can display, the more we can let others see us for who we truly are, or the more we can see others for who they truly are, the better the outcomes most of the time. This is where assessments come in as a solution, because whether we're looking at our personal development or our professional development or someone else's professional development or the hiring process, it's critical to reduce the blind spots and the facade as much as possible. This applies if we're doing self-assessment or we're assessing other people. But how do we do that? So think of assessments for your own development as a mirror that you look into. Now, a normal mirror will not tell us about what's inside of us, just what we see on the surface. And that makes sense, right? Assessments are a type of a mirror for what's inside. The types of assessments you use will determine what the mirror is going to show you. This is why using highly validated assessments are so important. Would you buy the cheapest product available to protect your health? Of course not. So, using multiple well-validated assessments are an investment in your growth and health from a personal and professional development perspective. These are the tools that are going to help you identify your blind spots, to really open up the facade that you're presenting to others, let you see how you're hiding things, and then you can make a decision. I'm not saying you have to share everything with everybody. Transparency isn't removing all of the glass that is opaque and putting in clear glass so everybody can see everything. But it's being as transparent and disclosing as much as you can, as it makes sense to do. The more that you can disclose, the more that others know about you, honestly, the more you can get done, and the faster things go, and the better outcomes that you can get. Not easy to do, but I've seen it happen over and over. And if you think about really great leaders, they're pretty transparent people. They aren't hiding a lot of stuff. When you see leaders that there are a lot of questions about them or their behavior or their decisions or their actions, they're probably hiding a lot of stuff. Or they're just not even aware of it. It's a blind spot. Now, getting to that untapped potential for us in our development is really important. But what if you're hiring? If you're hiring, I want you to think of assessments as a magnifying glass. Would you make your decision only based on a resume? If you're going to hire candidates, would you make a decision based on only a review of resumes? Probably not. How about if you looked at resumes and you did an interview? Well, maybe. I mean, a lot of organizations, that's their limit. That's what they do. But I want to ask you a question around that. How are you going to see the blind spots, the facade, and the untapped potential of a candidate if all you're doing is looking at resumes and doing some interviews? Even the best interviewers are limited in their insight into those areas in candidates. I don't care how good you are. I've been doing interviews for candidates for more than 35 years. And as good as I am, and I'm not here to tell everybody how awesome I am at that, but I've had a lot of experience. I have a lot of insight and intuition. And even as good as I am, I can still be fooled, which is why I use assessments when I help people in their hiring processes. Here's some sobering statistics. Checkster, which is a reference checking company, stated that candidates misrepresented themselves during the hiring process 78% of the time. And Resume Lab, which is a career advice company, found that 56% of candidates lied in their interviews. I don't know about you, but those are staggering statistics. Now, maybe you don't find that surprising. I do. And frankly, maybe I'm an optimist. And maybe that's why I find it so surprising. But if that's what's going on out there, how are you going to get behind that and really figure out who you need to hire? Who's the right fit? Who is telling you the truth? A majority of candidates represented themselves as having a mastery of skill levels when in fact it was only a basic level. So they're not even giving you accurate information related to their skill sets. How do you find this out from a resume or an interview? Which candidates are telling you the truth and which are not? This is where assessments come in. In the future, I'm going to go deeper into different types of assessments, what they can do for you, their strengths, their limitations. So I really want to be able to provide you good insight into what the right kind of assessments can do in the right situation, but also the damage they can do if they're not used correctly. For now, though, I just want to focus on how assessments can help you, whatever your desired goals are. I have a lot of people, owners, senior leaders, and individuals, stay-at-home parents, people that work from home. I have a lot of people ask me the question, what can assessments do for me? What value is there in assessments? Well, when I talk about assessments, I want to clarify I'm talking about psychological assessments provided by a certified assessment professional like myself who is certified in many, and I want to stress that, many different types of assessments. Not just one personality assessment that they think is the magic bullet for everything, or that they sell as the magic bullet for everything. I'm talking about cognitive assessments and emotional intelligence and personality assessments and hard skills assessments, soft skills assessments, cultural assessments. There are so many different kinds, but finding the right ones and putting them together in the right way, that's what a certified assessment professional can do, and frankly, can provide incredible value through that process. Why multiple assessments? Well, let me ask you this. Would you buy a house by just looking around the outside of the house? No, that'd be silly, right? You assess many things when you're thinking about buying a house. You look at the lot or the land, the plumbing, the wiring, the interior, the layout of the house, the foundation, the roof, and so many other areas. Using a single assessment is just like looking at one aspect of a house you're thinking about buying and then trying to make a buying decision based on that. Think of a certified assessment professional as a guide. They guide you through territory you're unfamiliar with. They help you avoid the pitfalls. They point you in the right direction. They provide insights and correlation of the data in ways that allows you to make your very best decisions. Here are advantages you can get through assessments when it's done right. Measures that you can set goals and developmental KPIs with. Insights into potential success. Alignment with values and goals. Identifying developmental opportunities. Cultural alignment. Opportunities for skill development that could really help that individual move themselves and their career forward. Maybe that's you. Capacity and bandwidth insights. That's important for leaders, and frankly, all of us are leaders. We learn to lead ourselves well, and then we lead other people, whether we have an authoritarian role or not. We do it by example. Coaching enhancement. Assessments can provide great information, whether you're coaching people or you have a coach of your own. Every one of these advantages brings a measure of significant return on investment. I want to talk a minute about 360 insights. And yes, there are 360 assessments where other people provide input for an individual, but that's not the 360 I'm talking about right now. The more insights we can gain, either about ourselves or about others, through the assessment process, the better decisions we can make and the faster we can reach our desired goals. So the 360 I'm talking about is getting a more holistic or comprehensive look through different types of assessments that are correlated in a way, and that data is brought together in a way to give clear insights and real direction. A well-designed group of assessments can provide greater visibility and richer insights. And I've seen it happen over and over because that's what I provide to people every day, every week. So, how do we see beyond the mask? Well, it's to everyone's advantage to bring more visibility to what is important. And assessments are absolutely unique in the insights that they can provide. Clarity is rare in our world today. And the more of it that we can attain, the greater our potential success. Whether we're seeking a good mirror to see beyond our own mask, or a good magnifying glass to see beyond the mask of other people, using validated assessments is the answer. Explore what assessments can do for you. You may be very pleasantly surprised at what is possible. Thank you for joining us for this episode. If you have any questions about this week's episode, or maybe a suggestion for future episodes you'd like us to explore, please contact us through our website at eqfit.org. For more information and inspiration, connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at EQFit.